Today on the channel, we're back at it with another G.I. Joe Classified series unboxing. In today's video, we've got Zanya and the Chameleon, aka the Swamp Skier.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another G.I. Joe Classified series unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got Zanya and the Chameleon, aka the Swamp Skier. But for all your G.I. Joe needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Got to get a deal out there. But in a plot twist, I picked mine up on Amazon. I always just safeguard Amazon. Sometimes it beats everybody else, sometimes it doesn't, but it's a nice backup plan and it's very easy to cancel the order if need be. And what do you know? I got old Zanya and the Swamp Skier here today, and you know by now we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to see where it goes from there. And the Swamp Skier, aka the Chameleon here, whatever you want to call it, one of the all-timer vehicles for me personally, as the first ever G.I. Joe vehicles I got was the Awe Striker back in the day. And I also got the Swamp Skier, both of them purchased in one Fort Dodge, Iowa, home of Crazy Legs, as we do know, but my grandma took care of me and got me some of those early Joes, and I'll never forget it to this day. But I always liked the Swamp Skier with Zartan, a little grandma vehicle action. You guys know about the grandma vehicles. Grandma's not just going to buy you one figure. She might buy you two or three, but she likes to buy you one of those little mini vehicles and a figure. She's not going to get you the aircraft carrier on a whim. She's not going to get you the G.I. Joe Whale or the Cobra Moray on a whim or the Night Raven or something like that. But the Swamp Skier and Zartan, put it in the cart, Kyle, or my grandpa would say, put it in the cart, Buck. My grandpa called me Buck because I was very expensive. When I'd come out with them, I'd always want something, as you can imagine. Some things never change. But the Swamp Skier, an all-timer with that Zartan once upon a time. And very cool to get Zanya. Now, we're going to talk about her in a second. Zanya, the daughter of Zartan here. So Zartan and the Swamp Skier is what we know about. Now we get Zanya. I don't know if the classified team at Hasbro didn't think Zanya could sell on her own. They said, let's put her with this vehicle. That'll get the sales. I'm not exactly sure. And then a plot twist there. I think a lot of people would like many Swamp Skiers to build out with all their dreadnoughts if they wanted to. Now they make it more expensive with a figure in there. So playing a little fast and loose over there at Hasbro, as we always say, follow the money at the end of the day. But yes, Zanya is Zartan's daughter. I believe was at the IDW years that came in. Todd, you're the resident comic book expert around here. But I do know the story about how Zanya came to be who she is in her heart. And Todd, you can feel free to fact check it, but I got this one for us. We know Zanya is the daughter of Zartan. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Kansas City, right? The home of barbecue, the Blues, the Royals, and the Chiefs. I go there for work every once in a while. Check out the figure hunts. But Zartan sent his daughter away to Kansas City because we do know Zartan had a daughter. It is Zanya here. And he unfortunately lived in a neighborhood where there was a predator in that neighborhood. And I'm not talking about a panther. I'm not talking about a wolf or something like that. But might as well be. That predator, yep, you guessed it, Duke. Yes, Duke lived in the same neighborhood as Zartan. And Zartan knew his daughter would never be safe with Duke living in that same neighborhood. He knew that from an early age. Now, Zartan, he's no clean whistle. He's not a squeaky clean guy at all, but he is like a massive churchgoer compared to one Duke, as we know as well. And we've seen what's up with Duke with the nepotism, the racism, the child predator stuff, being in the Epstein files. We've heard it all on this channel. Burning down the pit, you're exactly right, Todd McFarlane from the couch. I always fact-checking some stuff. So we know what kind of a dastardly guy Duke is, and Zartan had to make that difficult choice. Can you imagine? Are you a parent? I'm a parent. I got two little girls. I can't imagine my little girls being born, holding them, right after you give birth. You're like, man, these magical beings that I helped create, it's amazing. But then in turn, knowing you have to do the right thing in your heart for them to have a successful life, you got to ship them off to Kansas City. Yes, Kansas City, they got to go. Kansas City Star, you're exactly right. They got to go to Kansas City to be safe from that no-good dastardly Duke. And if I was Zartan, I would never forgive that Duke for that. And Zanya went down there, didn't know what she was a part of or anything. And then I think some of the Dreadnoks were in a bar in Kansas City. They came across her. They put the dots together. Next thing you knew, there was a family reunion and all was right in the world. And now they can go on their way as a father-daughter team, taking on that dastardly Duke and trying to bring that guy down. We know how it is in this world. There's so many tyrants out there. They're hard to get. They're slippery. They're almost like snakes, dare I say. And Duke at the top of the list. The more you know, folks, the more you know. But now we're diving into Zanya and her swamp skier here. G.I. Joe classified. You got like monkey wrench flying off a swamp skier in the background. It looks awfully dangerous. It's like an ATV, but in the swamp is what it's like. Cobra logo. G.I. Joe classified. 4 and up, you 3-year-olds, you can play with this. Nope. You 4-year-olds can play with this. You 3-year-olds, you cannot play with this, is what it is. Looking good, Zanya over there. And there she is, skiing in the swamps. Number 194. I don't like how it's labeled here. I wish there was no 194s anything on these here. 194 QR code. I think you can get that full Duke story if you hit the QR code, but I'll just tell it for you. Save you some time. I'm here. I'm a man of the people. Jibber jabber down low. Some of the build out of the figure in the swamp skier. Diving into it. It says Zanya's 5'9". I like my women tall, Todd. You know that. My wife's 5'10". I've always dated tall chicks. I need to date a short chick one of these days. I'll have to ask my wife. Is it okay to date a girl that's like 5'5"? All my girlfriends have been tall. See you later, goodbye. I guess I have a type, apparently. But one of these days, I'm going to get like a 5'5" chick. That's what I'm going to do. There it is. Get the locker here. Haven't seen one of these lockers in quite some time. Got old Zanya. Got the swamp skier there. We're ready to go. No, it's not Zendaya. It's not. You've been watching too much, was that Shake It Up, Shake It Off or something like that? Disney Channel back in the day? Something like that. But there it is. I'm going to pull this offline, get this all out, and we'll be back talking Zanya and the swamp skier. All right, we got Zanya out of the package. We got the swamp skier put together. Let's dive into it. Let's start with the vehicle first, then we'll work our way into, of course, the accessories in the figure. But we got the swamp skier looking deluxe. This looks a lot more deluxe than the one I had as a little kid with Zartan. That one kind of fell apart pretty easy, if I remember. We do not got that little basket on the end to carry with this. I'm sure somebody's 3D printed it. I'm sure somebody will come out with them again. But this is pretty darn cool. This is a very classic, iconic looking vehicle here. Like the colors on it. It's got that green color at the top, looking very good. You got the silver for the engine, the exhaust, all of that. Even a little bar on the back here. Looking nice in the seat. It's ribbed for apparently her pleasure. Ready to go, ready to party if need be. You do got the controls up front. No movement there. We do get the handlebars up and down, so you can move that. You have some gauges there in red, looking very nice. No stickers with this thing, so that's kind of nice. None of that chore going on. You got a little readout action there as well, looking beautiful. You got the foot pegs in the back. The cool thing about these foot pegs is they move, they rotate. So depending how you want her to sit on here, you can adjust those and move those back and forth. Getting down to the skis in the bottom, those just plug in on the side. That was basically all you had to do. Pretty easy to follow those instructions. You do got a little bit of turning radius there in the front. Got a little blaster in the front as well, so you can shoot at people as you're going. Looking pretty good. Now, these do go up and down, back and forth. A lot of movement out of these skis in the front. Then you get the skis in the back. As usual, not as much movement on these. You don't get the side to side, but you do get a little suspension in here. So a little real work in suspension if you need to. Looking pretty good there. Not a bad piece of business. It will glide across the table like so. Nothing else really too wild on this one. It's kind of a pretty plain vehicle, but it gets the point across, and it'd be pretty darn cool to see a bunch of Dreadnoks on these. Get very expensive, though. Long gamers unite on this. I wouldn't be shocked. Some people's not going to want this. Some people want just Zanya. They might end up selling this off and just keeping the figure, or vice versa. I guess you could see in the future. But not a bad piece of business. This, for me, is always Zartan specific, no doubt about it, but it'd be cool to have her. And you could easily put 2 characters on here if you wanted to. So, not a bad piece of business. A little grandma vehicle, not so much a grandma vehicle price in this day and age. And I just noticed, too, it's got that swamp skier logo here. I forgot to wear that shirt. Usually I try to pair up some of my shirts with what we're doing. Real ones know that. Instead, I went Frankenhooker. We'll get into old Zanya here in a second. But I did have this shirt. I should have just busted that out for this. So, big miss on my part. How will I ever recover, Todd McFarlane? I'm not sure. But there it is, the Chameleon Swamp Skier. But now let's dive into Zanya here. 2 gripping hands out of the package, trigger hands. 2 fists of fury. You can't be a Dreadnok unless you're ready to throw down. Zarana, her aunt, I'm sure she taught her the ways when she did join the Dreadnoughts. Zorana said, hey, young girl, we're going to teach you the ways. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there was a little bit of jealousy around her, if I'm not mistaken there. But I'll have to go read up on that again. But diving into the accessories here, we do get a big machete knife. Do we see this with Naugahyde along the way? Silver blade, black handle, looking pretty good. Once again, we saw this with somebody. Naugahyde, I think, maybe again. You got a nice pistol revolver going on here, a little scope on there. That's a rough one. Or maybe this came with Crocmaster. Could have been that one. You do got the holster for it, so you can plug it in her back if you want to. Always nice to be able to store everything on here, so the black holster for that. We got the big shotgun here. We've definitely seen this in the past as well. A lot of reuse in this set here. Looking good with the shotgun. That seems like a Dreadnought style weapon, a shotgun. Then we get glasses. We get two different pairs of glasses here. You get some kind of goggles. They look a little bit like goggles in brown, and then you get straight up glasses in black. So not a bad piece of business as well. So choose your own glasses adventure. That's kind of wild to get two different pairs of glasses. And then you do get a little flyboy hat here. And this hat reminds me of Murdoch from the A-Team once upon a time. We all remember Murdoch, the madman Murdoch. He'd always wear this kind of flyboy hat, looking pretty good in green. She's going to wear this when she's skiing through the swamps, I guess what she's going to do. But now we're going to dive into Zanya. Rhymes with lasagna, Todd McFarlane, and she's a real G, and she moves in silence like lasagna is what I have heard. But man, oh man, looking very good. I love the looks of this. I always love a punk rock chick, as you can imagine. She's looking really good with this green hair. Like a young Shotzi Blackheart, depending what you call her. If they're ever going to do a G.I. Joe movie, maybe she could play Zanya. Looking pretty good here. Very stoic, determined face. She's got the piercings going on, the lips and the eyebrows. Looking extra dangerous. Green lipstick. You know she's a lot of fun if she's wearing green lipstick. Love the look of that one. She's got the earrings on as well. And what is this? Is the hair removable on this one? Or do I just got a bad copy? What's going on here? Oh, the hair is removable. She's got a wig. She's got a wig. You can take that off, and I guess that would be so she can wear this hat, I'm guessing, huh? Yeah, must be. Must be. So you can throw that on like a young Murdoch from the A-Team if you want to. But interesting, her hair is removable. So you could possibly switch it around with a bunch of the other females from the G.I. Joe variety. Put that back on there, but looking pretty good. I do like the head sculpt. This is a very good looking figure. She's got the choker chain necklace, always a plus. Ready to go. She's got that cool Dreadnoughts, more updated Dreadnoughts logo. It's right over the top of the Cobra logo. So, you know, she has Dreadnoughts first, Cobra second is what she's enlisting. Got the long shirt on the top and then a little tank top going on, but she's got the midriff showing and she's got the tattoos right there. Ready to go. Looking pretty good. Forearm guards, gloved hands here, two gripping hands that are trigger hands, as I mentioned. You got a holster on the side and then a hook on the side as well. Not sure exactly what that's for. She does got that. What's that holster for? I guess it's the knife. It must be. Yep, the knife on one side. And then she's got a little holster here, but I'm not sure what that would be for. Unless she's going to put that shotgun and just kind of hang it and dangle it right there. I guess she could if she wanted to. Do whatever she wants to do with that green hair. We know how it goes. Got some kind of combat pants here in green. Got the pockets in the front. Got some knee pads, Todd McFarlane. She's ready to go. Got some big old boots as well. Steel tip boots on the end. Nothing like some steel toe boots. Nothing better than getting kicked in the shins with a pair of those, as we know. Very good looking figure, though. This one's a sleeper. I knew it looked really good, but man, in hand, this is a really good looking figure. Butterfly shoulders on her. Arms all the way around. Bicep cut. Double jointed. Pinless elbows. Playing all the hits. How about that? Hands, ooh, up and down. Up and down and removable. So do what you want with that as well. Hair's removable. Head, back, forth, side to side. Neck, back, forth, side to side. Dumbbell joint up top, plus traditional waist. Drop down hips, plus the big splits if you need them. There it is. Look at that. She's ready for a swamp skier is what she's ready for. Thigh cut. Double jointed pinless knees. Boot cut. Ankles, back, forth, side to side, up and down. Our usual G.I. Joe Classified Series articulation in full effect right here. She also will fit on a ringside collectible stand using code Kyle. Save 10%. How easy is that? How cool is Zanya right here playing all the hits? But we're going to try to stick her on here. She's actually kind of small for this vehicle, which is pretty cool because, like I said, if you want to put somebody else on here with her, you got room for two. There's room for two, but not room for Duke, Todd McFarlane. We're not going to have Duke coming at her from behind, especially behind. We know what Duke's up to. We know what Duke's capable of. We all know. We all know, especially if you watch this channel long enough. We do got old daddy Zartan, though. Now, I got this Zartan. This is the color-changing version that came out a couple of years back. The latest Zartan's that retro one. And you guys, if you're longtime viewers of the channel, know that retro one, his leg broke off on my display. I picked him up from a display. Leg just crumbled to dust, broken off. Absolutely heartbreaking because that retro Zartan costs so much money in this day and age. I'm just infuriated about that. Hopefully they get another Zartan. Maybe they re-release that, something like that. We'll see what happens. So I got the Zartan that changes color, but in a nice twist. That's the one we had back in the day with this. So that makes sense as well. But yes, you can put two characters on here very easily if you wanted to. Definitely will work if you want Zartan to ride shotgun with her. And I know a lot of people are going to be using Zartan on this, and it makes all the sense in the world. I wouldn't recommend using the retro one with this, though. It apparently has brittle legs and it'll break off on you. But I do like this more than I thought I would. I didn't like the price point as usual. It's hard to wrap our heads around some of these more expensive price points here in 2026, but you can't fight City Hall. I guess the way to fight City Hall is not to purchase it, and we're never going to do that. Let's be honest. But I do like the Zanya character a heck of a lot more than I thought I would. It's obviously new, and it's not my era of G.I. Joe, but it works. It builds out the Dreadnought, comes with a classic one. She's got a storyline where she escaped Duke, as we know, but also the daughter of Zartan. There's a lot of fun around this one for old fans, new fans, and all points in between, I do believe. And if you're wanting to army build these swamp skiers, more power to you, but hopefully your wallet's ready for that. But a fun figure here today that I'm happy I picked up in my collection. But what say you? You picking up this one? You need this one in your collection? Let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, on Patreon, your best way to support the channel. You get all the videos early from both my YouTube channels all the way to my podcast. Best way to support the channel. Appreciate all the support. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show. Available where podcasts are found with videocast on YouTube. So for Zanya, Zartan, and the Swamp Skier Chameleon, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?